division, and there's Udias and Warwicks and Nocturnes running around.
You got Nunus, you got Trundles, you got Shaco, couple of Shakos. You thought the jungle was neutral? It belongs to us.
You can't see nothing.
You can't hear nothing. You can't.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in and taking your Friday night to tune in to the LeagueCraft ggClassic presented by gaming.stackexchange.com. If you guys do not know my lovely voice by heart by now, my name is Optimus Tom, and casting this amazing game between the newly reformed Epik Gamer and up-and newcomers DB Gaming is going to be my partner in the casting kill lane. No, his internet is working. He does not have girlfriend aggro this weekend. It's going to be Optimus Tom and Mr. SK Ponophobia.
Hey Tom, I am so excited to finally be casting. I can't believe last weekend I threw my computer together as quickly as I can and it all turns out to be my ISP. I'm just so happy to watch this game. You have no idea. I can sit here all day and just keep saying, I'm happy.
Well, that's because everybody is pretty happy. One, for the game to get underway. If you guys didn't realize, we had a little technical difficulty. That technical difficulty being that Salsi had queued up for a game about a half hour before the match was supposed to start. But thankfully, he was like, oh, shoot, and then just proceeded to basically end the game as quickly as possible. So we did wait for Salsi. So sorry for a little bit of delay, guys. This is what happens when you try to get 12 nerds together on a Friday night, and it's not for a game of Dungeons & Dragons. So what we're going to be doing is getting directly into the picks and bans for game number 1 of Epik Gamer versus DB Gaming. Now, everybody knows pretty much who Epik Gamer is. Now, wouldn't you say so, Ponophobia?
Well, they are newly reformed, so I still think we should go over at least the new people that are in it.
All right, why don't you take it away as you go over the purple side, which they've opted to take, very surprisingly. They had the higher seed, but they opted to take purple team because apparently that's Westroyce's favorite color or something like that. But they're going to be on the purple side, so run down Epik Gamer for anybody who might just be tuning in a little late to what's been going on.
Yep, that tasted purple.
It definitely tasted purple.
So we have Salsi, Westroyce, Nat Nguyen, Mashme, and Clicky D. For those who may not know who Clicky D is, he is a professional Street Fighter / Marvel player who has since become part of Epik Gamer and is now playing League of Legends full-time. Well, I would say nearly full-time. He still does Street Fighter and Marvel and stuff. But yeah, that's the rundown of this list over here. So Mashme and Clicky D being the two newest members.
Yes, indeed. Actually, Mashme is from Choppa and Dakar, another League of Legends team, so he didn't exactly pop out of nowhere. He has been playing League of Legends for a while as well. But the blue team is going to be DB Gaming. And Ponophobia, people watching this stream who may have listened to the casting killing before might know who DB Gaming are now, won't they?
I would think so. We started casting them way back in the day for the amateur League of Legends tournament when they were doing their first season of it. We just met them and suddenly became great friends with Baidoku and the rest of his team. And after that point, we've just casted every game that we can of theirs. And they have a fantastic team. And I've already said if they go all the way to the finals, they beat Epik tonight. They beat who's next? They
CLG. That's a little tough.
That's very tough. But if they beat CLG and they go on to the finals and win, whoever's going to be in the finals, I will shave their name in my head and take a picture of it for everybody to see. I'll post it at ggchronicle.com.
I really hope that they do that right now. But yes, indeed, they did an amateur League of Legends gaming tournament we casted. It was originally on Reddit. They have their own website and everything. You guys can find them on Facebook too. But they were very, very entertaining, and it was interesting because during the amateur tournament, they had to use people below a certain ELO, and then when they actually won that tournament, they decided to recruit a couple more players. People really picked up on it, including Entis and Beef Noodles. And then we have Cuddles the Pan, who's actually a friend of KDH's, who's been casting the tournament with Monte Cristo, part of Area of Defect. It's just a really, really awesome story, and we're glad to see them in the round of 16, hopefully or potentially moving on to the round of 8, but they have a very tough obstacle in Epik Gamer. We've had picks and bans going down left and right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not an Evelyn pick you see on DB Gaming side. I wish it was, but it was actually a placeholder, so people are yelling at us for picks and bans, saying, why don't you do picks, why don't you do bans? Because we already knew beforehand that DB Gaming was going to be using a placeholder pick, and we will be recapping the picks and bans in a blind pick mode. But we could just talk about the bans right now, Ponophobia. Why don't you run down what DB Gaming has decided to ban out?
Looks like DB Gaming just kind of, I wouldn't say so much solo queue bans. We do have the Kennen ban who, even if he's underfarmed, his ultimate will just lock down a whole entire team once he gets in there and pops his W, which stuns everybody. The Cogmaw to get rid of any kind of protect the Cog comp, any kind of, if they maybe want to run a tankier team, Cog's going to shred right through that armor, no problem, as he does a percentage of life. And of course, Shen, after his tweak, has been a little bit overpowered, or so the community thinks at this point. So, and the opposite side, purple team, I unfortunately could not get the bans out fast
Oh,
enough.
that's
as they decided-
perfectly fine because I have them written down because I am
Please
that
go.
foresight. We see over here on Epic Gamer's side, they have banned out Maokai, Olaf, and Lee Sin. Now, very interesting choices because Lee Sin has been a champion that we've seen being played in the jungle, has now found a really nice home in top lane, really hard to push out with his sustain and the shield that he has from Safeguard Iron Will combo, the mobility he's going to be picking up on top of all of that. Then
You
there's
can't forget that Claky D plays Lee Sin and plays a very mean Lee Sin, and they banned it out themselves.
yeah, they banned out the Street Fighter character, basically.
Attacking moves, parrying, all the good stuff, right?
Yes, indeed. But they also decided to ban Olaf and Maokai. Olaf, after the rework, he's been a really, really, really big menace in that top lane. He is very hard to push out of the way. Plus, his ultimate means he can't be crowd controlled at all. So he is really just has free reign to run up to a range carry or an ability power champion and just lay the pain down with his true damage from his reckless swings. He's going to sustain himself very, very well with his W, which will be giving him life leech in the lane, as well as additional damage. And of course, he has the axe, which has a reduced cooldown. He can pick up, throw, pick up, throw, pick up, throw, like he's playing hopscotch or something. So very, very deadly Olaf in the top
I was gonna
lane.
say pick up sticks or something would
Pick
be
up sticks?
better. You don't really pick up and throw in hopscotch,
I don't know. You throw the little stone, you hop to it, and you have to do it again.
I suppose.
Yeah, you see, my comparisons do work. It's been a little while since you've been on the playground.
I was just thinking more of like pick up sticks or jacks. That's the other one I'm looking for. The hop jacks or slap jack. I don't know what the hell it's called. Anyway, we're back into the game and they are self-picking at this point. It looks like we have. They're just going to self-pick all the way down to the end. Really quick picks and bans. They don't really care what they do. As you can see, they did ban out Sejuani there. So Entis picking up that Fizz. I believe that Fizz pick was what Evelyn was supposed to be.
Yes, indeed, and that's very interesting to see a Fizz pick. I didn't exactly take a very close look at the picks and bans that were going down in the beginning draft mode choice, so I don't know if that's going to be a solo top Fizz or a solo middle Fizz, but we do see Cuddles the Panda picking up an Ari choice, so we could assume Entis is going to be playing solo top Fizz. He is usually going to be the solo top player. Baidoku is going to be picking up his Janna, and we see Epic Gamer very quickly going down on their side, picking up a... why can't I think of LeBlanc's name? There we go. LeBlanc, Shyvana, Nunu, Nautilus to be in the jungle, and a Graves choice. Meanwhile, back on DB Gaming side, they have rounded out their choices with Beef Noodles on Corki, and you got Jimmered picking up a jungle Udyr. So, Ponophobia, let's take a quick look at these picks and bans. Start with DB Gaming. What do you feel about their choices, especially that Fizz pick?
I believe with their choices in the Fizz pick, they're just trying to get some quick insta-gib kills and push it out as fast as they possibly can. That they just need to do this game right. They're going to have to try to shut down the two key people, which is their jungler and the mid. That's Epic's jungler and mid. Bottom lane, I feel that with Baidoku down there and of course Beef Noodles, they'll just fare fairly well against Nat and Mashme, who are going to be sitting the bottom lane. Now we have seen Nat's Nunu in the past. He plays a lot of it in solo queue, buys wards like mad. He's the only person I've ever seen that has 5 wards in his inventory at all times. So to really counter it, they're going to have to keep that those ward presence up. They're going to have to keep total map presence and just really play safe. I almost believe that they might need to take a CLG approach to this and just farm for 20 minutes. However, that's not really the champions they picked for this.
No, I really wouldn't have to say that, but I do think that DB Gaming is really going to have to be concerned with the middle champion choice in Salsy's LeBlanc, a very, very bursty champion. They don't want her getting to the point where she could basically do whatever the heck she wants and run around and just be that sort of roaming bursty champion that could really just burst down anyone on their team. They also have to worry about the jungler in Clicky D. Even though he is coming from a fighting game community background as opposed to a straight League of Legends player, you don't want to underestimate that 2K plus ELO he has, and picking up a Nautilus who is basically the beast of crowd control that is a champion form. It's absolutely ridiculous, and they do have to be careful of him, and not only that, but keep him down and keep him spread out so he really can't babysit either that top, middle, or bottom lane, because if he is going to cause a presence and cause a change in any lane, it is going to be by just staying there and continuously ganking and keeping down whatever lane he is going to be ganking with that massive arsenal of crowd control he has.
Yeah, I like this. Yeah, we're going to move on to the middle pick over here, Salsy, and it looks like maybe Cuddles the Panda will be going against middle. I'm not sure if they're going to throw Cuddles top, but assuming that we go with the standard meta, we will see Cuddles Ari against that LeBlanc middle. Now, LeBlanc being a very bursty champion, can't farm as well as Ari. Ari probably be pushing the lane a little more, but with Clicky D and how much CC he has, I can see some early ganks come down on the Cuddles, especially if they get him to the correct bush in the right place that they need him to be to get those dredge lines down.
I definitely agree with you, and I think that's why Cuddles actually decided to pick up Ari. The fact is she has that Spell Vamp passive, and she's normally known as she bursts a little bit, not as much as LeBlanc, and LeBlanc is sometimes viewed as a counter to Ari because of how much burst damage she could do, whereas Ari is more of a sustained damage champion where she's going to be poking and harassing with the Orb of Deception. She's going to be able to activate those Foxfires and deal some additional damage and farm up the lane. She has a Charm that, of course, is going to be her initiate into fights and into engaging on a jungler or in a gank or even just straight off in the middle lane to pop down a quick little combo of her spells. But she does have that passive that grants her 35% life leech on whatever next spell she casts. And if she casts an Orb of Deception, that's magic damage on the way there and true damage on the way back. So she is a very sustaining champion. But like you said, with all that crowd control on Nautilus, the bursty nature of LeBlanc in the middle, I'm really, really concerned that the middle lane is going to be probably the one that wants to be ganked the most from DB Game, but also the lane that might have the most trouble with.
Well, I was going to say the top lane here might be another trouble, as we do have Westrice going top with that Shyvana, more than likely against the Fizz. Now, Shyvana able to push lanes with her burnout. Fizz doesn't really have the AoE to combat that, so it's going to be much more of like a kill lane top where he's going to have to farm and try to get as many kills in as early as he can. But if Westrice is running the right runes and right start, maybe a null magic mantle and whatnot, Entis isn't going to do much damage with Fizz.
This is entirely true, but as the countdown timer goes down for the spectator mode, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to quickly remind you about our sponsors over at gaming.stackexchange.com. You can, of course, follow them on Twitter at Stack Gaming. You can also go there to check them out because without them, it wouldn't be possible to run an amazing tournament like the ggClassic and bring you guys the best amateur and professional teams that North America has to offer. Not only do they host an amazing question and answer site for video games of all stripes, that means not League of Legends, but StarCraft 2, Skyrim, Mass Effect 3, and many, many more. If you guys have any questions about any game, you can head right on over to gaming.stackexchange.com to get a very quick and thorough response. But if using these forms during the game right now to ask questions is not what you're in for right away, you'd really want to go check them out anyway, because they have been giving away lots of stuff throughout the entire tournament, and this weekend is no slack.
Ooh, no, not at all. They're giving us away some good stuff this weekend. Stack Exchange giving away a solid-state hard drive and a 23-inch monitor of your choosing. That is just, that solid-state hard drive, I wish I could join for that. Last week it was a video card. The week before that it was, what was the week before that now that I think about it?
Week before there was a video card. The week before that was a gaming console.
That's it, gaming console. Yes, look at this. Look at these big prizes, all $250 and plus, and now these solid state drives being about $350, $400, not to mention that giant 23-inch HDMI monitor. If you guys are not on that site trying to win this, I would have to call you stupid.
Yeah, I was gonna have to choke you out actually. I might just steal your account and try to enter myself. We can see over here, Epic Gamer has opted to take the purple team, where unfortunately for Westrice, I'm in colorblind mode, so you guys are actually popping up red. Little unknown fact there. Colorblind mode, I actually like it a lot more, but all that aside, we see DB Gaming, meanwhile, on the blue side. Looks like they are going to be just hiding around by their middle turret. They might sense that Epic Gamer's going for a little bit of a jungle invade, that Nautilus being the crowd control house that he is. They have a support Nunu choice as well. Nat Nguyen has been known to play a beast support Nunu, and in any lane, and these ganks he's going to be able to throw down with the Ice Blast at level 1. They have a really, really powerful invade, and DB Gaming seems to be onto their tricks, just hiding by their own middle turret, and Epic honestly has no clue where they are right now.
Yeah, Epic doesn't have any clue, but neither does DB Gaming. I don't think they really know that they're sitting over there. However, they do think they might walk into this blue buff. So it does look like DB Gaming is going to walk in here now, but I believe a level 1 fight is going to go on at some point, as they are going to sit in this bush and just wait.
I do think the same thing about Epic Gamer. Yeah, Epic Gamer looks like they might have to back off. They have placed a ward down, so they can come back and harass the Udi if he tries to take the buff. Graves has gone back to his lane, actually looking like he's walking across the map a little bit. I don't know if we're going to see him go straight back down or if we're going to see him head over towards the fight, try to play some sort of cleanup. But there's lots of footsies going down, as Claky D is probably used to right now. And Epic Epic Gamer does look like they're going to contest this blue buff from Udyr, but I don't know if DB Gaming is going to fall for it. They might just be going straight for a red, or perhaps going for the enemy blue buff.
They're going to have to. Fizz saw that Nautilus walking there. Nautilus couldn't get the dredge line off in time, so that blue buff is down, meaning that Epic Gamer now has the timer on that, as it did fall at 2 minutes and 3 seconds. So Udyr now having to start over here at race and go for red. He will not be able to clear the jungle nearly as quickly without that blue, but he's still a very fast jungler, so even at any point he's going to make it back.
Ooh, and look at Nat Nguyen hiding in this bush on his Nudu bot. He wants to go for an early gank on this Fizz. They have noticed that Graze is down there by himself. Janna is just returning to her bottom lane. Entis might know something is up, though. He's playing extremely passive, hiding behind his ranged minions, so DB Gaming with excellent communication to let them know that support is missing from the bottom. And I don't know how much of an effect it's going to have on Graves, but it's definitely going to have an effect on Entis' Fizz here, as he gets an Ice Ball thrown down, that burnout, and the Twin Fang dealing so much damage. Entis is forced to use one of his 3 health potions, which he picked up in addition to his Boots of Speed, and is currently at half health in this lane against Shyvana. And as you said, with the AoE damage and pushing power from that Dragon Lady, it's not going to be a fun lane for Entis.
No, not at all. We see ggClassic walk over here to check his blue just to make sure Udyr didn't go for it, but Udyr deciding to go race red golems at that point. So Ari actually asking if they can restart at this point. So we'll have to see what happens as Udyr is in the jungle very low walking through here.
Yeah, I'm actually very interested to know why they would like to have a restart. I don't know what the ruling is on that. Do you, Ponophobia?
I don't know what it is, especially... They're asking for restart. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. What's happening is Cuddles the Panda's on a wrong computer, and he's lagging quite a bit with FPS, so I think they're just going to play through this, and there's not going to be any kind of restart. So we will continue casting as if there wasn't one, since they did take the blue. I believe they wouldn't have taken the blue. I don't think Epic Gamer would have had a bad choice. Look at Westrace go down here to look for those wolves. I think he's going to wait for them to respawn a little bit, as he knows that his lane isn't being pushed, isn't going to be coming back anytime soon.
Yes, and Shyvana is known for her very, very strong counter jungle. They do have a ward down at the blue buff, so they had the timer on the wolves when Udyr was there. They have the timer on the blue buff, and now Shyvana actually looking to pressure onto Cuddles the Panda. Cuddles the Panda is very exposed in that middle lane, not only due to lag issues, but just the fact that there's the ever-presence of ggClassic above in the jungle. Shyvana with Westrice just coming out from the side there, and they could easily sandwich Cuddles, but Shyvana now realizing that Fizz is pushing out a little bit too much, actually a level ahead of her now, due to that little waiting around the jungle. I guess she didn't realize that Udyr took those wolves a lot faster the second time around than she would have anticipated, and now she's about a level behind in that lane against Fizz because of it. She saw that you had to pop more than one of her health potions as opposed to Fizz, who's had to pop a bunch, but we see some action going on in the bottom lane where you got Jimmerders coming for a gang. Ooh, a flash from Graves gets stopped by Bear Stance, and Udyr is going to pick up a nice first blood onto Graves. Corki got very low. Are they going to wind up picking up this Nunu on top of that? Yes, it is. Double kill going to Udyr, but meanwhile, in the middle lane, we saw over here that LeBlanc seemed to just burst down that Ari. No problema whatsoever.
This is definitely going to be a problem for DB Gaming if Cuddles is really lagging like he says it is, and it's just an unfortunate side effect of playing on your own computer, playing online, and not being a LAN tournament. But we'll have to see if they can change around a little bit, and if Cuddles can just play passively against it. We do see Udyr coming up here to keep that lane push back, as Cuddles is going to walk slow as he can back to the middle here, opting to go back, pick up a Doran's ring and a few health potions.
And I'm actually starting to see a trend here as we see ggClassic waiting in this bush over here with double buff. Shyvana is just kind of sitting passively in her lane. They don't know that Entis actually decided to go back. So whereas Udyr came in and took advantage of a very overextended Graves on the bottom lane from Epic Gamer, Epic Gamer is really having to wait around for these counter jungles and wait around for these ganks, and because of it, it's not a huge differential, but they are behind in 200 gold right now. We saw earlier that Entis was about a level ahead of that Shyvana, and he used that advantage to be able to go back and buy before the Shyvana even had a chance to, you know, get back to her lane and get her level disadvantage all worked out. So Fizz might not have a bad time in that lane now, because he does have that little moment of peace he had, just to spare him enough time to go back and get some items he needs to combat this Shyvana. He looks like he picked up a Doran's ring in addition to a couple more health potions.
You know, I think it's working out for him very well, but we'll have to see. Look at this Shyvana pushing this out, and once she pushes this out again, I believe she's probably going to walk back down here, maybe try to take wolves at some point, or sit in the bush and wait. No, she's deciding to go back, which probably isn't a bad choice, as she is sitting there with 1,000 gold, or almost 1,200 gold. So Cuddles the Panda not moving over here. Looks like he may have lagged out, maybe switching computers as quickly as he can.
That wouldn't be a bad idea either, since Udyr can come in here and cover the lane. Salty on that LeBlanc is a very bursty champion, but Udyr is super sustaining with his shield. So if he covers this lane, pushes it around, and makes sure that Salty's not just going to be getting free farm while Cuddles is wanting to switching computers, not a bad idea at all, because I don't think Salty can really go in and burst down an Udyr, especially not only at level 6.
No, not a level 6, but you cannot underestimate LeBlanc. I've seen LeBlanc do some nasty things with less AP.
This is entirely true. On the bottom lane, though, we see Beef Noodles and Baidoku getting really pushed around by Mashby and Nat Nguyen as they have that very aggressive combination between Graves and Nunu, letting the Blood Boil give Graves additional attack speed. He has that dash move, is going to let him move up, get nice buckshots off, and increase that speed even more. Meanwhile, up top, we see some dancing going on between Entis and Westrice. Looks like Cuddles the Panda did wind up disconnecting, so I don't know if it's a lag issue.
Now we're having middle. We have an engage going down as Clicky D has walked in there. Dredge lane coming down. Extra burst damage coming out of that Blanc. Flashing away is that Udyr, almost dying, but as you said, not be able to do anything. Actually, up top we have Fizz, who was almost dead from that Shyvana pushing out, popping her ultimate.
But that Shyvana got extremely low to the point where her ultimate was popped, and Fizz with that playful trickster, dealing a lot more damage and harass onto Shyvana than they may have thought he was going to be able to do.
But blue buff
Epic Gamer taking a quick blue buff here for Salty in the enemy jungle, really taking advantage of the fact that that middle lane is hindered right now, and the timer they had from the beginning of the game with that ward they placed down during the jungle invade. That is currently 2 blue buffs on the side for, on the blue side for Epic Gamer, and 1 on their own side for themselves. So 3 blue buffs have been spawned in this game, and 3 blue buffs have gone for Epic Gamer. So they are really going to abuse that mana regeneration, the cooldown reduction that it gives, and just the sustain in the lane that is really unparalleled to any item, especially at the early stages in the game.
You know what's interesting over here? Westrice, he just keeps that lane pushed out, going up here, taking the golems, now going to come back, farm a little more, and might still keep roaming. So another thing that we see top Shyvana's doing quite a bit. And there we go. Cuddles the Panda finally coming back in his new computer, but we're going to be down quite a bit of farm as he only has 16. And this LeBlanc coming back with 59 farm to that. I don't know how you're going to be able to combat against that, really.
I don't really know either. Cuddles the Panda is currently half the level of Salty
LeBlanc.
And LeBlanc, like I said, I don't know if she's going to be able to burst out an Udyr at level 6, but apparently level 8 is the go-to level right there.
I mean, we see this disconnecting again. We saw that in this game right before it cursed and just your average Joe. Salty disconnected, and they pushed their advantage and won the second game because of it. Looks like the Epic Gamer is going to do the same thing. It's really no holds barred at this point.
No, you really can't blame them. If a character disconnects and their lane is as important as the middle lane in this game, you really need to ride that advantage, guys. Even in solo queues and everything, if you have someone disconnect, don't play passively. Don't say like, oh man, I feel really bad. You can say that in all chat because you really mean it, but you want to push every single advantage that you have, because a win is still a win, and right now in this tournament a win could mean up to $5,000 prize.
That's about $2,500 for the first place, not to mention tournament rise skin and whatever else it brings you. You know, your first place seed coming back in the next tournament that we have, and we will definitely do another one. Clicky D sitting down in this bush in bottom lane. Looks like he wants to try to grab Baidoku or Beef Noodles down here. We haven't seen many ganks come out of Clicky D as he's just spent a lot of time in his jungle, which probably isn't a bad idea as Nautilus scales very well with items.
Salty is also behind here. There's going to be a 4-man tower dive on poor Beef Noodles and Baidoku. Corki is going to get out of there A-OK though, but Baidoku's going to get melted down instantly. You got Jimmer, looks like he wanted to come in for a counter gank. They had no idea that Salty was over there. He is going to get really harassed down. The infinite CC coming out of that Nautilus. But look how tanky that Udyr is right now. He is going to run back to his tower, tank through a Graves ultimate. Corki's trying to come back in and deal a decent amount of damage, see if he can melt anyone down, but that might be fatal as Udyr does fall to Graves eventually. Beef Noodles, unfortunately, not going to be able to really melt down that Nautilus. I don't think it was a target they really wanted to go for. Salty or Mash Me on that Graves or LeBlanc would have been a lot better of a choice, but a 4-man dive, 3 people to defend it, and they wound up coming up 3-0 as Epic Gamers currently ahead 4-2 in kills, 13.7k to 11.2k. It's going to be a little bit more after this dragon attempt goes through, and they're just looking to be in control of this game right now.
Very much in control. Ari being down so much in farm as she only has 21, just now coming back, pushing out that lane. But this is going to let LeBlanc, you know, giving her this little bit of farm isn't going to really help her all that much. I mean, yes, it you know, continues to make her more tanky as the game goes on, or sorry, doing more damage. However, this LeBlanc being with that many kills as she has, not to mention Sorcerer's Shoes and Doran's, 2 Doran's rings, she can burst out a caught Ari at any time.
But this Ari does have her ultimate to really help her move around. So even if she isn't going to be able to farm up too much, she really has an escape mechanism that she needs against that LeBlanc right now. It's all going to come down to timing, though. And like you said, Salsi still 3 levels ahead. Sorcerer's Shoes to that magic penetration, including that amplifying tome. Taking a quick look at the statistics, it's 29 magic penetration and 10% on the magic penetration. So that Ahri right now, even though she has 1,000 HP, 43 magic resist, it's not going to last very long against a comboing LeBlanc.
Not at all. But we see you got Jimmer's Udyr walking up here to Salsi. Salsi popping his way out of there. Nice skill shot on him. Try to do a little bit of damage, but stunning him very momentarily. Udyr going to walk back out of here. Unfortunately, not able to get the stun on it, but I don't think Ahri would be able to do any damage at this point to do it.
No, but they are really trying to do what they have to do, and I didn't even see this fact that Baidoku got caught out of position by MashMe and Nat Nguyen on the bottom. Looks like Udyr wants to come in for a gank, but he's actually going to try to recall. Ooh, a flash goes off from Matchrace. He really wanted Beef Noodle's blood, but Beef Noodles is going to heal bait him. Now you got Jimmer just coming in. Phoenix stance goes off. There's a turtle stance earlier. Bear stance not going to come out. It looks like they decided to go back because of a very well-placed smoke screen from MashMe. But now they're trying to fall down to Beef Noodles. He doesn't have heal right now. Udyr has to come back in and pop a stun onto Graves. Graves is going to get free damage. So is that Nunu Ice Blast going around all over. They are barely going to back out of there with any bit of life left. And there's a red buff on Mashby right now too. So that is just so much damage coming out of Graves.
Yeah, don't forget to look up here in top lane as cclassic is sitting in this bush. Now walking in onto that Fizz, almost catching with the Playful Trickster, getting him out of there just in time.
Yes, a very unfortunate dredge line as he just fell a little bit too short. Entis actually popping the Playful Trickster just in case. He isn't going to have that off cooldown as he has to pop an ultimate onto Shyvana as Nautilus's depth charge goes onto Entis. Entis does not look to be in a good place, but a heal goes off. Can he pick up a kill on ggClassic? He is going to pick up a kill on ggClassic. Very nice juking and jiving as Westrice might fall on top of this. Barely living with 34 HP as that health potion went off. Now Udyr is trapping Westrace between him, the tower, and this very low Entis. Is Entis going to be able to? No, Entis is going to live through that one little quick poke from Westrice. Udyr's getting a flash and a stun going on. I know there's some action in the bottom lane too, but I'm just really enthralled in this chase right now. I don't think you got Jimmy is going to be able to catch up to Westrice, so he might want to fall back as LeBlanc is motioning to go back up top. But it looks like we had a 2-for-1 in the meantime on the bottom lane.
Oh, this is crazy what's going on in the bottom lane down there. Picking up 2 kills, but MashMe still staying alive. Able to sit in there now 6-1-0 with a BF sword and 2 Doran's Blade. In the meantime, Ahri level 7 gets bursted down by that level 10 LeBlanc. This LeBlanc just getting more fed and more fed as the game goes on. 2-0-3 with almost 100 CS. She's going to be able to burst down any champion with a combo.
This is indeed. But that top lane, as you said, the middle lane and the bottom lane were probably going to be very important to this game. That top lane seems to be, even though Westrice has control of pushing it around, he has 112 farm to that Fizz's 64. Fizz is still really giving him a run for his money. So I don't know about you, but I never thought to even think of Fizz if you were going up against a Shyvana pick.
Interesting choice to go up there. I didn't really think about it because...
Did you see that?
Shit. No, I missed it. I was watching the middle. Please go over it.
Oh, ggClassic had a ward by DB Gaming's blue buff, saw that they were going for it, waited for them to get it low, and smited it over the wall. So that is still no blue buffs for DB Gaming in this entire game.
Oh, they've not had any luck here. Had Cuddles DCing very early in the game. ggClassic spending a lot of his time counter jungling them, taking that blue every time, so not allowing Ahri to have it to be able to farm it to her best of advantage. So we'll have to see how the DB Gaming comes back at this point. Well, really, Ahri just needs a lot of farm, as much as she can get, but sitting only with 44 to that LeBlanc's 104 and 2 kills, she can't do anything at this point.
Speaking of a lot of farm, Beef Noodles' Corki is really going to have to show his stripes at this point in time. That Graves 6-1 with 117 CS. He is literally out-farming Corki in every way, shape, and form right now. LeBlanc is going to be getting her allied blue buff, while ggClassic has the enemy's blue buff. So that is currently 5 blue buffs for Epic Gamer and 0 for DB Gaming. Up top, we see Entis has gotten double Dorans and Mercury Treads to get some sustain against that Shyvana.
Meanwhile, to bottom lane, no one here, MashMe getting... jumped on here by Baidoku, getting chunked out of there. Beef Noodles getting caught with a dredge line, getting blown up by that LeBlanc. It looks like Baidoku's going to go down here thanks to that Graves ultimate, but Salty picks up the final kill. Another ultimate coming out onto this Udyr, now picking up the kill. That's a 3-for-0 engage and a tower for Epic Gamer.
That is just so much. Is yet another 4-man gank on the bottom lane. There was 4 people from Epic Gamer on that bottom lane. They are really harping on the fact that they don't want this Corki getting farmed, and MashMe's Graves is doing a great job of contesting him. I'm actually very surprised to see that ggClassic and Salsi keep coming down here to keep him even more hindered than he already is against this Graves.
Now, do you see this when Graves quick draws, which is his E, and has that buff on him from the Nunu, he has a 1.9 attack speed. He's attacking 1.9 times every second.
And this is 16 minutes into the game on a level 10 Graves, ladies and gentlemen. That Nuno, of course, maxing Blood Boil first, does not even have a level of Consume to sustain himself in that lane. I think they were that confident in the bottom lane matchup where he didn't have to do that and just went straight for Ice Blast and straight for Blood Boil. So he is going to have a very, very durable package for that Graves. And like you said, Graves attacking almost 2 times every second with that, with the Blood Boil on and his
Oh, look at top lane up here. Westrice having to pop his ultimate, having Ignite going down on him, almost getting taken out by Entis's Fizz. Really not a bad choice to come up here. Entis playing very passively, only going in when he needs to or feels that he can get a kill. He did pop his ultimate there for the engage, but unfortunately was not able to pick it up because of Westrice having 100 magic resist.
Yeah, he really is building a lot of magic resistance against this Fizz, and it's what he needs because Fizz is technically an AP bruiser up top. All his skill, all his damage will be coming in form of magic damage, including that Sea Stone Trident, which is going to be dealing magic damage for each percentage of their already missing health. So that's even going to be giving him even more resistances against that. This Fizz, though, only has 69 armor and 82 magic resistance up against Shyvana's pretty much pure physical damage, as we just mentioned over here, to see that Epic Gamer took their second dragon of the game, giving him almost a 10k gold advantage at 17.5 minutes into this game, Ponophobia.
It's crazy. You know, I did notice that Salsi was trying to be, I guess, a little good guy here in middle. Cuddles the Panda was stuck farming. This is a few minutes ago, and he let him farm there for a moment, knowing he was down. He probably could have bursted him with one combination, as he did still have blue buff for that time. So we'll have to see if Salsi continues to do that or decides he just wants to jump on Cuddles.
I don't know. Looks like he's actually just being very content with jumping on the creeps and keeping his insurmountable advantage against this Ahri. Almost doubling her CS right now. It is credited to the disconnect a little bit beforehand, but still, LeBlanc just doing so much work against that Ahri in the middle lane. And we can just see as they burst her down very, very low. I was panning that bottom lane to try to see if Mashmi was doing anything. Ooh, ggClassic's ultimate just having way too much range chasing after that Ahri is going to pick up a kill on her. Udyr's running back and forth. We see that Mashmi and Natwin have dived down into DB Gaming's base to pick up kills on both Baidoku and Beef Noodles. A nice leash coming out from Salty. Look at the crowd control of this team. Salty, Claky, D, Udyr not being able to run anywhere, and You Got Jimmered just got Jimmered down to his death as DB Gaming is currently down 15 kills to 4. 30.8k to 19.5k. They have 2 towers down, possibly 3 as Mashmi. Ooh, I was gonna say, looks like Natwin tanked that turret for a little bit too long, but Mashmi playing the melee Graves on bottom lane, standing next to a tower and pick up the kill. He's probably wound up getting this inhibitor too, but DB Gaming actually grouping up as a team of 3. I don't even think Mashmi's Graves, which is currently 7-1-4, can even contest against 3 champions from DB Gaming at this point.
Absolutely not. Blood Boil plus Quick Draw on that Graves is 2.1 attacks a second right now, and it's just going to keep getting stronger as he builds more attack speed. As he has a Zeal building to a Phantom Dancer next, it looks like, as he's picked up that dagger. He does have 40 stacks on the Bloodthirster, which is 100 AD at any time, so he's just doing so much damage. Any kind of team fight that's going to come in here have to give it Epic Gamer. They're going to, unfortunately, I'm not really sure what DB Gaming can do at this point besides farm.
That's okay. I once heard that Entis one-shot Baron, he had so much damage.
Did he just take Baron with Cloth Armor 5?
Yeah, he only took Baron with 5 health potions, and he didn't pop a single one. It was facetious of him.
But he's not Jax. I don't know how he could do that.
Because he's Entis.
That's right.
For you guys that don't know, Entis is a legend in the League of Legends community.
A legend in his own mind. We see Salsi sitting down over here to probably try to jump on Entis. Entis being Fizz can get away with Playful Trickster anytime, so I don't know if he'll be able to do it. No, it looks like they're going to walk away here. They do have an Oracles on Claky D. Going to check for wards at Baron. Looks like they're going to try to set up for it. Actually, Graves going down here on We Got Jimmered. It's Udyr who's trying to get the hell out of there. Mashmi picking up that kill now. Another 8-1-4 Graves. Insane. Oh, look at this. Ultimate coming down and Cuddles the Panda is just going to get blown up.
Yeah, unfortunately, the early setbacks for DB Gaming are just too insurmountable at this point. The jungle invade, the unfortunate disconnect.
And there's the 5 votes against 0 20 minutes into the game. That is a surrender. I kind of figured that's what was going to happen.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is in game number 1. As Epic Gamer is going to take a very convincing game 1 with a very Oh, look at Fizz.
I know, it's just so cute.
Oh, it's so sad. Fizz died. It's so cute. Fizz died.
So now we are going into game 2 here. DB Gaming hopefully they have fixed all their connection issues and fixed anything. They've watched what Epic Gamer can do against them now. They've seen what bottom lane can do, especially with Nat Nguyen as the support and his famous new play, Mash Me playing Graves. I wonder what they're going to have to do to really change. What do you think they would have to do, Tom?
I think they really need to work on that middle lane. Even before Ahri wound up having the disconnect, Salsi was ahead by about 10 CS, and that Ahri pick against a LeBlanc is not what you want to see. As I was talking about, Ahri does have a little bit of character sustain to her, but she really just doesn't have the tools that she needs to deal with a LeBlanc in the middle who can really burst them down. So I think their middle choice is going to have to be tweaked a little bit. And that bottom lane, Mash Me's Graves was just absolutely insane against Beef Noodle's Corki. I just don't know if it was the Corki Janna composition or it's just the fact that Nunu's W is just super strong with Graves. So I wouldn't be surprised actually if we saw DB Gaming ban out Nunu for the next game.
I would not expect that either. But I do want to talk about our sponsor real quick over here at gamingstackexchange.com. I believe you have the text in front of you, Tom.
Yes, I do, guys. Don't forget to check out our sponsors over at gaming.stackexchange.com. Of course, without them, we wouldn't be able to have an amazing tournament that you guys are watching right here, and we are waiting to get the invites for game number 2. Guys, they host an awesome question and answer site for video games of all stripes. It's not only League of Legends over there, but you could go for StarCraft 2, you could go for Skyrim, you could go for Mass Effect 3, you could go for Paperboy, and many other games. If you guys have a question about any other game in the world, including League of Legends, head over to gaming.stackexchange.com to get a very quick and thorough response.